Class is unique, promising, one of a kind, challenged. There are many, many adjectives. But the need for it is something that you all see. What can we do to support independence? And as we move forward to implement the class program, I'm absolutely convinced that we are not selling insurance. We are selling independence. And how do we design products and a messaging and education campaign that frames this in this way? How do we support independence and encourage individuals to participate in class to support their own independence? I mean, no one wants to get old, and we all are. No one wants to be disabled, and many of us will be. But we all want to be independent. And there are opportunities here to be able to reach out to employers and individuals and talk about the need for long-term care, the need for supports. There are also challenges, significant ones, and you all are familiar. Long-term care insurance has never been able to penetrate more than maybe 10% of the market. They struggle with the same issue of how do you get people to pay attention to what their long-term needs will be. Long-term care insurance market offers a different product than class. They offer comprehensive long-term care. As you know, class is designed to be minimal support. At $50 a day average, that's $18,000 a year. That won't pay for someone to stay in one of your facilities of any type, but it can help them as they age, as they move from setting to setting, take their own resources and additional cash and buy what they need. It's a very, very promising program. One of the challenges is also how to figure out the finances, the math. We have, Larry and I have been to the Hill. We've talked about this. There's a lot of inquiry in the public. Because the program is voluntary and not underwritten, we must deal with the natural and obvious issue of adverse selection. And the right way to run this program is to have one with high participation, an attractive product, an attractive premium that will be sustainable in the long run. And it's very, very interesting to figure out what the best way is to design that. The law certainly gives us some guideposts. It must be cash, must be $50 a day average. But we also have some flexibility in design that we're working with our actuaries on. This will be a very public process moving forward, much more public than the last year has been as we've been quietly hiring and finding a home. We will announce an Independence Advisory Council this summer. We will do a first round of reg making in the fall, notice proposed rulemaking. And at that point, be able to engage with all of the stakeholders, both the advocates and the people who are concerned about what we see as the benefit and the way that we can design the program. Much of the conversation right now, and certainly I felt this as I testified, is about the financial concern. And I think that that concern will follow us, and it should follow us. This program must be solvent. But it's important for those of you who work so hard to pass class to always come back to the table and talk about the need, that we've never significantly addressed the need in this country to provide long-term supports in any way that's meaningful other than Medicaid spin down or absolute depletion of someone's own assets. So talking about the need from your person-by-person perspective in your communities is the best thing that you can do to continue your support for this program as those of us work on implementing it. We have staff. We have about 25 staff, and it really does exist. We're working on building an IT system and looking at education and looking at what we need to do in terms of designing a benefit. But it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. All of these things together, I think, help the Administration on Aging move forward, but all of us as a nation move forward in providing community supports. It's not a surprise to me that you changed your name this year. I think this is a very dynamic time to be working in the field of aging. I am deeply committed to partnering with, in a meaningful way, our friends and the advocates from the disability community. People with disabilities have a long history that's very similar to ours, a long history of commitment to choice and community living. And I think as all of these dynamics change, as you change your name, as we look at what AOA's future is, as we support community living, that we must naturally reach out and partner with the disability community. Some of the issues, many of the issues that you look at, housing, transportation, across all people, and have similar kind of needs across the lifespan and across the disability span as well. So it's an exciting time to be here. It's an interesting time to be here, going back to last week, to just see how it works here and see what we can do to move forward together. And I think one of the hardest things is that there's so much conversation about Congress, about the administration, that it's important to take time, especially as you're getting ready to go up to the Hill, to applaud your own work and your own role in advocacy. It's the most important thing that we do, to speak on behalf of someone else and what they need, and to be able to give voice to that. It's, I think, one of the best things that we can all do in our careers. I have had many, many wonderful opportunities. I had a chance to actually meet the president last month, which was phenomenal, and go to a meeting with him. I also had the chance last fall to speak at the Rosalind Carter Institute for Caregiving in Americus, Georgia. And the First Lady, former First Lady, introduced me. I just thought I should keep a journal when I started, and I didn't. But that one would have been on the short list of phenomenal opportunities, a chance to talk to Rosalind Carter. She has worked for a long time in the field of mental health. And so as we look at community living and the movement of all peoples toward the community, I think it's important to realize that the mental health world is also a critical partner. So I just wanted to close with a quote from Rosalind Carter, because it was, I keep talking about how memorable it was to not just have her introduce me, but have her attention as I spoke, and have the wonderful chance to expand our reach to other populations and other communities. So from Rosalind Carter, I believe that one of the most important things to learn in life is that you can make a difference in your community, no matter who you are or where you live. So I thank you all for what differences you're making here today, but also as you go back home when your conference is over. Thank you all very much.
Assistant Secretary Greenlee, as I think about the 50-year history of our organization, and we're finding videos and letters and papers and of the visionary leaders of people like Herb Shore and Mother Bernadette and Monsignor Fahey. In that era, the public policy leaders of the day were people like Claude Pepper and Arthur Fleming. And as I have worked with policymakers, as you do, there are very few that rise to the standard of the Arthur Fleming around commitment to do the right thing for the right reasons in the public arena. Kathy Greenlee, you are in that genre and in that ilk, and we're so grateful. I will tell you practically, you go on the Hill, the Older Americans Act services are one of the most important, underfunded, underappreciated aspects of the whole health and human service delivery system. And she has a vision for that, and we have to get that done. I remember being at Wesley Woods, we were preoccupied with our housing program and our nursing homes and our outpatient clinic and our hospital, and it was only when we started working, as we saw people coming back to our hospital, our nursing home, that didn't have the support of the community, that organizations like the AAA and Senior Connections, which we had good relationship with, but they were the really good people that did the Meals on the Wheels and the transportation case. Oh, you know, more power to them. We're happy. They are one of our leading members in not only Georgia but in the nation around home and community-based services. And without the Older Americans Act and the support there, the health care and the financial crisis we all face would be many times worth. They are the solution, not the problem. And one of the things we've been working on, and Secretary Donovan, by the way, will address our group tomorrow morning. And one of the visionary aspects of what we're trying to do is put together the housing with services piece, and we want that to be a new part of the Older Americans Act. So advocate for the Older Americans Act for class and for housing, and support the heck out of this lady, because I hadn't seen anybody like her in a long time, and we are grateful. Now, our chair, Wynn Marshall, has a little something that we bestow from time to time, Madam Assistant Secretary.
Okay. It's again my honor and privilege to present to the Honorable Kathy Greenlee, Assistant Secretary for Aging, the chair's citation. And it reads, "In appreciation for your leadership in and commitment to serving America's older adults and ensuring that the Community Living Assistance Services and Supports Program, also known as CLASS, is solvent and successful as people prepare for the need for long-term services and supports. Leading Age also commends your broader vision of what the Older Americans Act can do to support older adults and those who care for them, as well as your advocacy for quality nursing home care that the public can trust.
Thank you all.
Before we break into our caucus visits, I'm going to tell you a 2-minute story, 2 minutes. And it's about an 80-year-old woman who was having her birthday, and her daughter couldn't get to her for a birthday. So she searched for a gift, and she sent her 2 birds. And about a week later, she arrived to visit her mom to celebrate, have a late birthday celebration. And the daughter walked around the home and didn't see the birds and finally asked, "Mom, where are the birds that I sent you?" And her mom responded, "Honey, those birds were delicious." And her daughter, shocked, she said, "Mom, those were exotic birds, expensive birds. They spoke in 3 different languages." And the mom shrugged her shoulders and said, "Well, they should have said something." So, as we move forward today, we need you to say something on Capitol Hill. We need you to say something in our state houses. We need you to say something in your local communities. As we go forward to advocate, we need to hear your voice. Enjoy your caucuses. Thank you.